What up, all my fight fans? So we had ourselves a little bit of a fight weekend this past Saturday. We had ourselves Max Holloway taking on the Korean Zombie in a little bit of a back and forth war they actually had. It wasn't too bad, but it wasn't like a crazy battle. But it was very entertaining in my point of view. So I definitely recommend you guys check it out. And in the fight, Korean Zombie actually surprised us a little bit. Korean Zombie was actually able to, back up Max a little bit. Max would look a little like, whoa, little surprised when he found out that Korean Zombie actually has some pop in him, when he actually has some, power in those shots. But nonetheless, Max Holloway does what he does best. He weathers the storm just a little bit, even though it was just a little storm, and was able to get a knockout of Korean Zombie in the third round. Now, Korean Zombie in that third round came in hot. I'm talking, he was just ready to go. He wanted to hurt Max. He knew that he was not going to be able to pick Max apart punch for punch, but he knew that he was able to possibly hurt Max by backing him up in the earlier rounds. So he said to himself, let's forget this. Let's just go for it. Let's go for this kill. Let's go for this knockout. And unfortunately, that's what cost him the fight. Max Holloway was able to back up and pretty much counter some of his aggression and knock out the Korean Zombie. So, winner of the fight is now Max Holloway, of course. And moving forward with this Max Holloway win, it makes me wonder what's going to happen. Because we already know that he took on the champion, Alexander Volkanovski, 3 times. The first 2 fights were very competitive, but that third fight was just a complete annihilation for Alexander Volkanovski, for completely dominating Max Holloway. Just dominating. It was not even a close fight. It was not even a close competition fight whatsoever. Check it out. Definitely recommend you guys seeing it. Both of those fights, in the first 2 fights, were actually very entertaining, but that third fight, complete annihilation. Like I said, check it out on YouTube. I'm sure it's available for you guys to watch anytime, anywhere. So with that being said, what does Max Holloway do moving forward? Well, pretty much Max Holloway is the best featherweight in the world, not naming Alexander Volkanovski. Max Holloway has beaten every featherweight in the world, not naming Alexander Volkanovski. So what Max Holloway should do is, my personal opinion, is move up to lightweight, because there really is nothing left for him to do. Honestly, it's for also Volkanovski to do the same thing, but this video is not about Volkanovski. I'll talk about his path in a little while, or not a little while, and a little later on down the road. But Max Holloway, I feel like he's done what he needed to do at featherweight. I feel like there's really nothing much more for him to accomplish. He's already beaten all the contenders. He's already beaten majority of the featherweight champions outside of Volkanovski, and has defended his belt when he was champion multiple times. So it really makes you wonder. Let's just say hypothetically he does get that belt again. Let's just say hypothetically Volkanovski moves up in weight and decides to go after Islam Makhachev for a second fight and becomes lightweight champion and decides to stay at lightweight, and Max Holloway becomes your champion again. Who are you going to see him with? Arnold Allen, he already beat him. Yair Rodriguez, he already beat him. Brian Ortega, he already beat him. Ilia Topuria, yeah, sure. But other than that, who else? What drives the attention? What makes you very interested? What makes you very entertained? What makes you want to see Max Holloway fight? And of course, we always want to see Max Holloway fight because he's very entertaining. But what is there for him to be like, oh my God, I can't wait for this? Now, in a different way of looking at things, if you were to go at lightweight, good God, the fights that he could have. Him against Michael Chandler. Him against Justin Gaethje. Him against Dustin Poirier. Him against Charles Oliveira. I mean, hell, he can even rematch Volkanovski at lightweight, because now this is a new story. Now this is a new division for both these guys. Now this is a different, like, hey, you know what? Maybe things are a little bit different with a little extra weight for Max Holloway. With a little extra muscle for Max Holloway. Maybe. You never know, guys. My personal opinion, what I feel is next. BMF title fight, Justin Gaethje. Tell me you guys would not want to see that. Tell me you guys would not want to see him take on the action star. The craziest, literally 100%, any fight he's in, it's always crazy, always action-packed. Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway. Good God, I get chills even talking about it. That will be my go-to fight. But I would like to know what your go-to fight is for Max Holloway. And in this fight, when for Max Holloway and Korean Zombie, I just mentioned he did get knocked out. Korean Zombie retired. Korean Zombie definitely earns the right in the Hall of Fame because the guy has always been in very, very highly entertaining fights. That fight he had with Yair Rodriguez, that last minute where he got knocked out. You know, this fight with Max Holloway. His fight with Dustin Poirier, where he actually beat Dustin Poirier. His knockout win over Frankie Edgar. You know, I know he isn't like the greatest featherweight and isn't going to be named as the greatest featherweight, but the guy has history in that featherweight title, not title picture, but the featherweight class, the featherweight division. And he's had a lot of memorable matchups. And he's had a lot of fans behind his back. He's brought in a big crowd, especially in the Asian community, to the sport as well. You know, when he retired and that send-off that they gave him was really, really amazing. That song that they played, Zombie by Cranberries, you know, it was amazing just to hear the crowd chant and to hear the crowd sing. It was really, really, truly breathtaking because it just really, really, you know, you see so many fighters retire and they don't really necessarily get that send-off. It's just like, all right, cool, goodbye. But no, these fans literally showed their support for Korean Zombie, and it definitely was very, very, a very special moment for the Korean Zombie. And he's going to be missed, and he's going to be, his fights are definitely going to be continued to look at through the YouTube and through other video outlets where, you know, fans can actually watch his fights. Because I definitely do recommend you watch some of his fights. His fights, you know, he was the first guy to ever complete a twister submission in the UFC. I'm not sure if that submission has been attempted by anybody else outside the UFC, even in the UFC. But that still stands out alone. Definitely very, very big accomplishment for Korean Zombie. So he's had one hell of a career. So guys, first off, let me know what you guys think about the fight. Let me know what you think is going to be next for Max Holloway. And let me know what your favorite moment was for Korean Zombie in his overall career. Let me know in the comments, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.